Hi, my name is Brian Hudspeth, and I'm a graduate student at Laterno University. What you're about to see is a role play. I'm not a licensed therapist. This is in practice for a graduate class in special topics at LETU. Hi, how are y'all doing?
We're doing fine.
Good. How are you doing?
We're doing okay.
All right. Y'all came in last week and filled out some initial paperwork, and I had given y'all an assignment to go home and fill out the genogram for us. Did y'all do that?
We did.
All right. Okay. We're going to look at that here in just a minute. But let's start here. If y'all would, tell us kind of tell me what made the decision to come here today.
Um, well, we were.
Now you had something that happened. You had to go to the hospital, right?
Yes.
Okay. What prompted having to go to the hospital?
No, I had a hard time. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I just had a hard time breathing.
Okay. All right. And so y'all made the decision. You made the decision. Somebody made the decision. We need to probably go and get this checked out.
We did.
Okay. And tell me what happened. What did the doctor tell you when you went to the emergency room?
Well, they told us that they couldn't find anything wrong.
Okay.
Well, we went and I think what we found was he wasn't breathing well and his heart was beating fast, so we thought that something was wrong. So we went to the ER and they put him on first took his blood pressure and put him on the monitor and I think the doctor told us that maybe it was possibly a panic attack.
Okay.
But we took him to a regular cardiologist and getting all the tests, echo and all that done. And yes, he told us that it was probably a panic attack.
Okay. And in one sense, that's good news because that means there's not anything physically that's going on with you, with your heart, and that would be unusual as a young man. So we're glad, in a way, that you got that cleared up and that there's not something going on there. Has that happened before? Have you had problems like that before?
Not like this. No.
Not like that? Okay. Let's maybe let's maybe start here. Did my understanding, because I got a referral. My understanding is, I guess the cardiologist maybe suggested that y'all go and see a counselor. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did you? I'm glad that y'all are both here. Did the cardiologist feel like it would be important for y'all to come as a family, or did he make a suggestion?
He did suggest that we both come.
That you both come? All right. Why don't we start off with the genogram? Let's talk about that for a minute. I understand that you had indicated on the genogram. Did y'all work on that together as a project?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
All right. You had put on the genogram. I noticed that you had some issues with anxiety. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that I have, though I think some thought it was truly physical, but yes.
Some of it you think was physical?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and have they ruled some of that out and some of it still some testing or question
Right.
about?
Right.
All right.
So,
All right. And then also on the genogram, I saw you had put that you thought your mother had maybe had some anxiety issues too?
yes, I thought she had
Okay.
when I was younger.
All right. Anxiety is one of those things, and many areas of mental health are like this, where, we're constantly learning more, doing research. Anxiety is one of those things that sometimes we see run in patterns in families. There are some people that would say, okay, there could be a possible genetic component to this, or this is something that we can kind of see learned. We kind of can see this model, and that may cause us to have issues. And then other people seemingly are not able to make those connections all of the time. So let me ask you, Nick, is there anything going on in your life that you feel is stressful for you?
Not driving a little.
Driving? Okay. Tell me what's stressful about driving for you?
Well, in fact, without these, all I see is blobs.
Okay. All right.
Even with them, things are still a little fuzzy.
All right. How bad is your vision? So do the glasses not completely correct vision?
Not at distances. No,
Okay. All right.
not completely.
So driving sometimes can be stressful. Now I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put words in your mouth. I'm assuming if driving is stressful, that there may be other areas sometimes that are stressful.
A bit, I suppose.
Okay. Do you currently live at home with mom?
Yes, we do here.
Okay. Let's start off doing something here. Give me, if y'all would, and y'all can both kind of chime in on this, give me a little bit of background about family. Tell me a little bit, if you would, tell me about meeting Nick's dad, and y'all kind of just give me a short overview,
Okay.
getting us up to this point.
Well, I met his dad in college, and then we got married after that. And he's our only child.
Okay.
And Dad passed away when he was 12.
Mm.
But now Nick has had a vision problem.
Just a problem since
just all
birth.
yes.
Okay.
He's had a vision problem. So his school was difficult, and just a lot of things that maybe some people don't realize when you can see
Mm-hmm.
things, but and we had to kind of watch out for him. But then I had to become, when his father passed away, kind of have to become mother and dad.
Okay. All right. And Nick, you're how old now?
27.
27? Okay. And you're still at home. Have you lived away from home before?
No.
No? Okay. Is there any stress in the idea of thinking that? Not that I'm suggesting that you should do that. I'm just asking, would that ever have played a part in the idea of living away from home because of your vision, because of difficulties with that? Does that ever make you think like, gee, I might like to move out, but I'm not sure if I would be able to handle everything?
It's a question of thinking that if I could handle it, it's just I don't see how that would even work.
So kind of scary. Okay.
It's not practical.
How do you feel about that idea?
I think we would. I think we would have a hard time because I'm not sure if his vision and I'm concerned about safety.
Okay. All right. I want to ask y'all to do me a favor. We've got just a few minutes left here in this session. I want to ask y'all to do something. I really admire when I see families that are close. We have so many families who are distant, and sometimes as our society becomes more technologically advanced, we see people kind of moving apart, and I love the idea that y'all feel very close to each other. Have y'all ever noticed when y'all talk how often you use we as a word rather than I? May not have ever picked up on it before. Okay.
Okay.
Here's what I want to ask you to do. I want you, because see, one thing that's really important, we have family values and family situations where we often will think alike, maybe because that's a tradition within our family, maybe it's because of some religious or spiritual beliefs, that we have similar ideas and thinking. At the same time, one of the things that's very important is that we be able to see ourselves as individuals. And so I may, with all the care and concern in the world, but I may correct y'all if I hear you saying we, because I want to hear you say I, because I want to know that you do independent thinking away from mom. You're a 27-year-old man. Mom, you have a life that would be there regardless of whether Nick was still living at home. So I want to see y'all begin to think more along the lines of being individuals who are mother and son and who love each other very much as a family should, but that you're individuals within that system. How's that sound? Okay. Nick, sound okay to you? All right.
That's fine.
What's your plan? Give me your 5-year plan for your life. Where would you like to see things go?
I don't know. We've never talked about it, I guess.
Okay. Are you in school? Have you finished school?
Well, we haven't. I haven't.
Very good.
I haven't really thought that that would work. I mean, I need her help just to get around the house, and she needs me to do things for her every day. It's just.
All right. Are you aware of services that would be available? I don't know if you know what your vision is, but what you're describing would lead me to believe that you might be eligible for some services through the Department of Assisted and Rehabilitative Services, State Department of Texas. I would really suggest that y'all give them a call in the next day or two, see if there are some services that they would be able to provide that would help you with education if you're wanting to go to school. I don't know if you're aware, there's a lot of online programs now, and online, you can complete your entire degree online now. You can do that from home, get your screen as close as you need it to. There's some software out there called Zoom Text, and there's some other ones too that would help make that stuff on the screen big, because you may find that education will open up a whole life, may open up things that you haven't thought of before. So I want to give y'all that as an assignment, something to look at. And I'm going to correct myself, because I said I'm going to give y'all this assignment. I'm going to give you that assignment. And I would like you to share with mom, because you certainly want her support. But I want you to, as a 27-year-old man, I want for you to say, hey, I've got my whole life ahead of me, and kind of take charge and say, this is where I'd like to go with my life. Okay? Sound like something you could get done between now and the next one? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit scary?
A little bit.
All
But,
right. And I understand, and we'll talk it through, and we'll take it, a little bit at a time. But it's something that I definitely want for you to think about. Are there points that y'all ever disagree with each other on?
Yeah. Yes. I think
Okay.
we do.
All right. Give me one thing that you might disagree on with Nick.
Probably, like I said, I look for safety. I'm very cautious, and I want to make sure that he's, I guess, safe all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So and I guess that probably limits him.
Does that bother you? If mom's feeling like, oh, gee, don't do this, or I want you to be really careful, does that sometimes bother you?
I don't want to say it does, because I get it, and I'm kind of, I'm kind of grateful a lot of times.
That she loves you and cares about you.
But yeah, I think it's a bit too much sometimes. It's there's always a little risk.
Okay. And let me tell you that what y'all might be experiencing is not a real uncommon phenomena. If a child continues to stay in the home, or if a child moves away and comes back, as parents, it's kind of natural for us to want to protect our children. And I think sometimes as parents, it's hard for us to think, okay, it's time to let go. My child is 18, 19, 20, or in your case, 27, a grown man. and capable of making many of those decisions for himself. So this week, what I really want us to kind of concentrate on and look at is I want you to look at the Department of Assisted and Rehabilitative Services, DARS, and I want you to look at those services and maybe make a phone call and see whether or not they could not evaluate you to see if you're eligible for some services there. I want for y'all to work at I statements rather than we statements. And I really want y'all to hear this good. This does not mean that I'm saying y'all need to distance apart completely. I want you to love each other. I want you to care for each other. But I want you to begin to see yourself as I, Charlene, rather than I, Mom. And I want you to see yourself as I, Nick, who is Mom's son, but I am an independent individual on my own with my own thoughts and ideals and dreams. I want for y'all to look. We're going to get you a copy of the genogram that you made. I want y'all to look at that and see if there's any parts of that that may need to be fleshed out. Okay? And then we will come back together again next week. All right? Thank you.